sun is only rain. I wanna crash and numb this pain. Nothing will last inside this lane. Oh, take me far away past these mediocre days. I need to stop this burn. Say, can you help me unlearn? This rodeo's got me feeling like a soul, so I should go before I'm a oh no. This rodeo's got me looking like a bad, bad girl. I should go before I'm a no. Forbidden fruit, it's not always right. Make way for change. Oh, shitty, shitty train, I know for certain I'm insane. Nothing can live here. The mud is so deep, I can't sleep. Now take me to another country, let me start over. Oh, I long for green hills with meals and four-leaf clover. This rodeo's got me feeling like so I should go before I'm a oh no. This rodeo's got me looking like a bad, bad girl. I should go before I'm a no, no. Forbidden fruit, oh, it's not always right. Make way for change. This rodeo's got me feeling like so I should go before I'm a oh no, 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 no. This rodeo's got me looking like a bad, bad girl. I should go before I'm a rodeo.
Hello and welcome to another live stream. Hello, guys. Hey,
Hello.
Biker, Saddlebag
Hey.
73 and Epic Adam Motovlogs. Just got in there, Adam, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be late on us then, but you seconds to spare. Well done, mate. Right, say hello to the people in the side chat. Lillian MB, Lily Northover, Grey Wolf, Ken Brooks, Andy GSA, Joanne's Guinea Pig Life. That's different. Hello, Joe. And Alan, who's put in Je suis là.
Alain, Alain, he's French. Say bonsoir,
Bonjour.
Alain. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. How we doing, boys? I've upset
I
Adam already. Look.
I offended Adam now.
What have you been up to the weekend? You've been up the Super Sausage, haven't you, with the Milton Keynes slot?
Yeah, I went and met up with Red, Rev Bomb, Rev Monkey, Boating Biker Bird, Metal Biker, and a couple of other people that I don't think have channels. We met at the Super Sausage and we went to a place called Gasoline Juice, which is really, really cool. I've been wanting to go for a long
What's
time.
that all about? Is that a cafe, is it? Or
So it's in a place called Weedham Back, and it used to be like an ordnance manufacturing place, but they've repurposed the buildings and they just have like a couple of cafes, climbing gym, all sorts of things together. They've just repurposed the buildings, and Gasoline Juice is one of those places, and it's just like a really weird design place with cars and bikes. So you go in there, there's like a cockpit of a private jet he's turned into an office. He's got a massive statue of a prancing horse from a Ferrari. It's just really, really cool and weird and varied. And
it's a bit like going down to Jolly Rogers, isn't it? You walk in there and you think, this is strange.
Yeah, but maybe Jolly Roger has got quantity. And this guy's got quality.
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean there. Yeah. Well, have you been up to Saddle? We've been filming at all over the weekend?
I went out yesterday filming. Went to Heartland Quay up on North Devon coast.
Oh yeah,
Met with Mark, the Most Wanted.
that's
Both on
quite a long
classic-
way from you, isn't it?
No, 40 miles.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's not too bad then. Yeah.
Amazing roads, and I haven't been to Heartland Quay before. It's stunning.
Is it?
Flew my drone for the first time in months.
Oh yeah, no crashes on the beach.
Not this time.
No. How about you, Adam? What have you been up to? I see where you put your bus wankers video out yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that today?
I haven't seen it yet.
Today. Yeah. I went out, made a video. Didn't plan on making that one. That just happened. Then I lost about 5 minutes of footage from the video I wanted to publish.
Yeah.
So I ended up publishing the bus wanker video instead.
Oh yeah. How's it done, that video? Is it done okay?
It's got about 450 views so far, which is good. It's like not ranking number one, but not many likes. I think it's a bit dodgy.
Out there.
With people bus wanker, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't be a bus wanker then, should they? So don't stand at a bus stop. That's the answer to that.
Get a bike.
Yeah, get a bike. Absolutely. Now tonight we have the all-year motorcyclist, or TAYM, as we call him for short. So he will be coming up. Just a few things that I want to run through, really. Let me do my whiffle waffle here. First of all, news-wise, Rhythmic Biker has got to 1,000. So well done, Rhythmic. We're all well chuffed for him. And it's great to see him on the ride out, wasn't it? So
yeah,
well
really
done.
good.
Well done there. Philip Green, he's now got his BSA, hasn't he? Which he bought a little while ago. She's been waiting for, and he's now received that. So that's good news. Trying to find a photo here. I can't find where it is now. There it is. Yeah. So yeah, he's got that BSA there, which is the top of the range one, I believe, just over £7,000, if I think it is. But very nice looking bike, isn't it?
Silver Dream Machine.
Yeah, it is nice, very nice indeed. Also, let's say a quick hello to Trailer Medic as well. They listen to the podcast, and they're in North Taunton, and they sort out things with trailers. Anything trailer, go to them.
Waving at them if they're listening. Hello.
Good point. Yeah. Can't see us on the podcast, can they? But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I much appreciate having you listen to us in the workshop. So that's really, really good. We haven't got Phil tonight. He's otherwise engaged. But as I say, we've got enough to get through tonight anyway. One thing I do want to mention is the Peaky Biker on Friday is doing his big challenge around the UK. Now, I don't know if you guys know about this. He's doing raising money for Scotty's Little Adventures, which is a charity which helps the children of fallen soldiers, basically. And he's doing 4,500 miles around the UK coast. And yeah, he's raising money for that on Friday. So what I'm going to do at some point is I'll put a link in the side chat if you do want to give any money to him and donate any money to the cause. He's taken time off work. Financially, it's going to cost him a lot in fuel. He has been given some tires, luckily. But as I say, it's a big sacrifice on his part, and he's not, he's doing it for other people. So that's quite commendable. So we're going to bring in TAYM after this little video here. And yeah, this is the Peaky Biker.
How you all doing, muckers? Just a quick one, really. Starting to prep the bike. Panniers on. Then also I've got on, I've fitted extra some fuel containers. And that's solely because I want to smash through this this challenge, because that's what it is, the challenge. It's not a tour. It's not supposed to be enjoyable. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, mentally, physically, challenging. But I want to smash through it and get it done at the quickest time possible. So I need you guys' help. If you can meet me, brilliant. If you can't, if you can share it, because every little penny counts for these kids. So just keep that in mind. Imagine if it was your kids who was suffering, who was struggling. You know, you'd want people to help. You'd want somebody to do this type of challenge. So, if you can, please donate. Thank you.
There you go. That's Peaky Biker. So I put the link in the side chat there. If you do have any pennies that you can give, anything helps. All right. He's got over £2,000 now, so he's doing really well. TAYM, hello. Thanks for coming along to the show.
Hello.
Hello, TAYM.
You hear us okay? This
Doesn't
isn't
seem
looking
like it.
promising, is it?
Do
Nothing?
sign language.
Nothing at all. Ah, bless him.
That-
All right.
That Peaky
you-
biker, can you track his journey somehow, or?
That's a good question. To my knowledge, I'm hoping he might come in at some point. But to my knowledge, he is going to be updating his Facebook every day and doing video shorts.
Right.
So I'm just going to see. Yeah, so he will be updating things as he goes around, and he does tend to put out short videos all the way through. Guys, can you hear me okay? Adam, new biker.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, Sadhu, you can obviously hear me. So it might be a
Right,
problem at
so-
TAYM's end by the looks of it. But what we'll do, we'll just talk about the social ride for a minute, shall we? TAYM, can you hear me? You can hear me, but we can't hear you. No, okay.
Start again.
Yeah, start again. Right, Saddlebags ride out. Saddle, what a great day, eh?
Oh, absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So many good people.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something about the social rides?
Yes, please.
I'm not going to mention any names, but last summer, a guy that I met at the first social ride, he approached me and he said that up until the first social ride, he was at a bit of a low point, and he found that social ride and made some friends there. And he said that was a turning point for him, and he's been on the up ever since. And I know another guy that's made he was apprehensive about going to the second one, and he sort of kicked himself and went, and he's made a lot of friends from it himself. And I was telling Natalie about this last night, and I found myself welling up, or totes and motes, as they say.
Yeah.
It's really touching seeing people get out there and making friends, because I struggle myself in that sort of situation, so I can really relate to them.
Yeah. And Old Wild and Free made a video about that. He felt the same way, didn't he?
Yeah.
That he struggles with crowds of people and that. So that's
Prefers his own company, I think. So.
yeah. That's nice though. Yeah, and like you say, everybody there. There's not one bad apple, is there? Everybody
Not at
there
all.
is just an absolutely fantastic day.
Yeah. 100%.
And I don't know about you guys. I always find myself going home thinking, oh, I wish some of you guys lived closer, because it'd just be nice to go out for a ride and just have closer contact. But what a wonderful thing YouTube is, that not only has it brought us lot together, there's no way we would have met, is there, without YouTube?
No.
And your social ride, Saddle. I mean, I can, speak for everybody that we really appreciate your effort setting it all up, because every time it's just a massive hit. It's a good day out, even when it's chucking down with rain last year. It was a really good day out.
It was, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and thanks for your help on the last one. That was fantastic.
Just went for the ride, mate. Yeah, it's nice to be in front. It's nice to be in the pack. So it was absolutely
It
pleasure.
halved my responsibility for a lot of the day, so it was a big help.
Yeah. Be interested to know what it's going to be like next year, whether there's going to be any more people, or
I think I'm going to take the starting point away from Tesco's, because I was expecting a suit to walk out any moment.
Yeah.
We took up a big chunk of their car park, didn't we?
We did. Yeah. In fact, I've got a picture of actually. But where would you start it? I mean, I can't think of a.
They
better
can't
place,
complain.
really.
We were customers. I bought some bananas. So
Yeah, I bought coffee.
I guess a lot of people bought fuel, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They probably don't give them monkeys anyway, do they? But yeah, there's all the bikes which went on the Saddlebags ride out.
Wow.
They come from so far afield, didn't they, Saddle?
Amazing. Like Craigachlin came from Cumbria. Sorry, Snowdonia. The
Isle
guy
of
with
Sheppey.
the 850 came up from the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Lots of chaps from the Midlands. All over. Incredible.
DCT Dave from Isle of Sheppey.
Isle of Sheppey.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Which
Is
I,
that-
to be honest, I never even knew where it was. He said Isle of Sheppey, and I thought, well, that doesn't sound, sounds a
Is
bit
that
far
that's off Wales then, is it?
No, that's off Kent.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You go over a bridge and it's another little island.
If it's past Devon, I haven't got a clue.
Tame, can you hear us loud and clear? You all right?
I can now, yeah. Can you hear me?
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can hear you very well, my friend.
I don't know what happened then.
It's all right. Technical issues, it happens, doesn't
I
it?
heard nothing
No.
from the video or anything.
No.
So.
If the only thing I would say, if you got a mic, come a bit closer to it, wherever it may be you're getting it from. That's fine.
Is that better?
A little bit. Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's fine. Brilliant. Tame, thanks so much for coming on to the show. Thank you very much. We're going to get into...
Thanks for inviting me.
No worries. You're going to get into your biking history in a second and anything else that may be related. So you're a YouTuber. I think that's the best way to start the process here.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get into bikes then? Take us right back from when you were a kid. Now, as you know, I've got some photos here, so I'll be pulling some photos up along the way.
Well, obviously, my dad and my uncles, they all had bikes. And my brother's older than me, so he was into bikes first, and I sort of tagged along with that. And that's my brother on the on the right as you look at the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm at the other side. He was a bit of a monster. We fought like cat and dogs, but we get on really, really well. And I don't know. I did a little series on YouTube called Conversations with My Brother, which normally involved him inflicting pain on me for one thing or another, and just recanting some of the tales, that some of the scrapes we got into as kids. But the bikes generally came in boxes, and we built them, what we could buy, and occasionally we all had mobilettes and what we used to call the granddad bikes.
Yeah.
For just on the fields. That's my uncle.
Your uncle, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the bike is. There is a video floating around on YouTube of my dad in the 60s. That's my dad on an old Guzzi. He used to renovate cars and bikes.
Oh, yeah.
But I know exactly what he's doing there. He's getting what we used to call a dog end. A cigarette.
Yes. Yeah.
He'd nip it out, but he'd save it in his pocket and then pull it out. Normally, if someone was asking him for money, because he'd sort of use it to sort of say, I've got no money, look at me, I'm smoking dog ends.
Which is where the phrase pants on fire come from, maybe?
Yeah.
Got to be careful, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so we had bikes. But a little known thing is, both me and my brother, we were born with cataracts, so we couldn't actually see. So we were riding bikes around, not being able to see, which was not until we left school and we had a couple of operations which sort of corrected that. But that was quite hairy. Yeah. But so that's how I got into it.
So when you say you built bikes from boxes, what do you mean by that? Out of boxes?
Well, used to there were loads and loads of Tiger Cubs and BSA Bantams that people had stripped down and just done nothing with, and then they get stuck with them. You used to find them in Exchange and Mart.
Oh, yeah.
Old-fashioned eBay, I suppose. and you'd pay next to nothing for them, and you'd get the frame. Everything else would be in boxes, and we built them in our bedroom.
Wow.
Wheel them down the stairs.
I had Lego.
Yeah.
I had to make do with Lego and stuff.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Technical Lego though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more fiddly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good though. I mean, I know it sounds strange, but I used to have bits of engine at the end of my garden. I found a gearbox once from a Mini, and me and my brother pulled it back from, you know, across the field and all that. It's brilliant. I didn't know what to do with it, but it was just great having it there. The kids these days, they don't want to do any of that.
Somebody dropped a mini gearbox out in the field.
Yeah.
It's usually porn stashes they drop in fields, isn't it?
Depends what you're looking for, Noob, doesn't it?
I
suppose you find what you're looking for.
There used to be an old airfield not far from us where everyone used to go and ride their bikes and stuff. And we found a mobilette on there once, the whole mobilette. I mean, it was all seized and rusty, but we dragged it home and we got it going again.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling, isn't it? When you're a kid and you get a bike going.
Yeah. Something that someone's thrown away or
Yeah.
stolen and thrown away. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did it go from there? How did you get onto the road with bikes?
Well, I did a bit of racing. I was a very naughty boy on the road. I ended up on. We got a bit fed up, me and my mate. There's a tale to that bike, but I don't know whether I dare tell you.
Go for it.
I wrote that bike off. I put it over a hedge. Did a somersault, and the front wheel went underneath. There was like a collection box that joined the exhaust together underneath, and it shoved the collection box up the back of the engine, which popped the side cases off and the battery out.
Wow.
But York Suzuki Centre rebuilt it for me, and I sold it. And I sold it to a police officer. And I could have sworn, when you looked at it from behind, you could see a gap. The front wheel was off to the right at an angle, and the back wheel was off to the left. But he took it to the police garage just to put it on the jig, and they came back and said, "Yeah, it's fine." So there you go.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah. So then I got into racing out. We got fed up of the LC had just come out, and there were a lot of rich kids buying LCs and going proddy racing, and we were stuck on the X7s, me and my mates, X7s and RDs, and the 250s and the 350s all went together. So you'd have like 60 bikes setting off, all the yellow jerseys behind, and they'd come whizzing past you into the first bend and then just crash, and you'd end up being taken out. We had enough of that. So me and my mate decided we'd give three wheels a go instead, and we bought an old BSA outfit, got rid of the BSA engine, I know, and we put a GT 750 engine in it. We had that bored out and tuned, bored out to 810. We raced that, and so much fun. There was another team on the market, Steve Webster and Tony Hewitt, and they went. I mean, they would be lapping everybody after 2 laps, and I mean, you're only talking about a 5-lap race. But they went on to be world champions for about 10, 12 years in a row. I think Steve Webster, he went through a few passengers, but I mean, they had works engines and stuff, and it was tough, but it was fun. It was just absolute good fun. Doing 100 miles an hour, a few inches from the ground, it's much more fun than doing 150, 4 foot from the ground.
Yeah. And where did sorry, you done this on a track, did you? It was like
Yeah,
a track
yeah,
race. Yeah.
track
Obviously, yeah.
racing. Yeah.
Were
Brilliant.
you rider or passenger then?
Believe it or not, I was a passenger, and there's a
Right.
story to that as well. Because what you actually really want is someone short like my mate Dave. You know Dave, who I go on about, really short person on the
Yes.
sidecar, and the bigger person as the driver. But my mate wouldn't. He wasn't going to have that. He was a control freak. He wanted to be driving, and so I thought, well, that's fine by me. I don't care. Quite enjoy hanging out. I mean, it's pretty similar to what I do now with the sailing, I guess. It's the same sort of thing. And he, the main problem was because he was short and because of the build of the outfit, he couldn't jump on. So when you started, you used to go from a non-starting start, if you know what I mean. You had to bump start and then you were off.
You have to push them, don't you? And then get them going. And
them, jump on and you go.
Great fun.
But he couldn't push because he couldn't jump on because he was too short. So he used to get on. He used to get on and I used to push on my own. So we had to get it set up dead right for firing up. And we did. And you had to hang on for grim death. Otherwise you're gone and he's off on his own. But it's great fun. Great fun.
I cannot think of anything more fun than that. That sounds absolutely epic. To have your mate driving, a bit like me, if I went on with Saddle, whoever, you know, and I'm hanging on to the sidecar.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
no way. No
you
way.
Give it a go.
You couldn't pay me enough. No.
Yeah.
It's hard on your knees. It's very hard on your knees.
I bet, yeah.
But such good fun. A real hoot. Yeah. And that sort of fizzled out. I think I sort of grew up. And I drifted apart inevitably. When you've got a team like that, you get a bit of friction. And we had a bit of friction. Girls were getting involved and we went our own way. He got the engine and I got the frame. That's what we did in the end.
Yeah. Have you still got the engine?
He had the engine.
Oh, sorry. What you
frame?
Yeah.
No, I managed to sell it probably in exchange of Mark.
Yeah. But you must know a bit about mechanics then. Are you pretty good with mechanics on bikes?
I used to be. I wouldn't tackle any of the bikes I've got now except Bertie. I do a lot of tinkering with Bertie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tinker with the others. I used to.
It's complicated nowadays, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. That's the bike that changed my life. I had him about 18 months now. And riding that, just there's something very, very special about them that you can't put into words. And from a mental health point of view, from a understanding, from an appreciation of mechanics, of the countryside, of the road, they're just something else. And I should imagine Noob gets something from the Himalayan, something similar.
Adam's got one as well. He's got Himalayan.
Do you?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I only ever see you running, Adam. You see your selfies in the morning. I don't take a selfie of me running because, I can't because I'm normally bent double when I stop.
No one's ever taken a photo of me running either, for good reason. Never done it.
Yeah.
But no, with Bertie and obviously Saddle's got Ernie, and I've ridden the Trials 500. If a lot of people don't get it, do they? They don't understand those bikes. I 100% see where you and Saddle were coming from with the classic 500, and not a day goes by where I think to myself, I want a classic 500 over the 350.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that was the big question, wasn't it, when the 350s came out? And I was sure that's what I was going to do until I went and rode one, and I thought, Paddington, absolutely love it, and they've done a marvelous job. But it is not a classic 500, and anyone who tries to say that it is and that you should go for the 350 hasn't got. They're not making the right connection. That's what I think.
I totally agree. Do you agree with that, Saddle? You haven't been on the 350 yet.
I've not ridden a 350, but in my mind, I think it wouldn't match the character of the 500.
So what is it? Is it just a matter of character, or what's?
Do you know what?
The
It's
difference?
almost.
Put your finger on it?
No, I find it impossible to put into words. I mean, TAYM got as close as anyone just then.
The way I see it, and I've only had one for an afternoon, but for me, I think if you're mechanically minded like TAYM and like you are, Saddle, and you guys are as well, I expect, but you feel every component working, don't you? Whether it's the stroke on the cylinder, or whether you clonk it into each gear, it runs out of puff quickly, but again, that's because the stroke is so long. It's just mechanically, it's magical. That's crazy to say, but for me, it's magical. The way that you could feel the gearbox, the seating position is perfection for me. I love the way you just sit on it, the rider triangle. Your feet are out in front of your ass, so to speak, aren't they?
I once likened it to flying a Spitfire in a cozy armchair.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's the sort of thing TAYM would say.
yeah. Don't talk about the Vulcan. That is. Have you ridden it?
I haven't. No.
It's so comfy to sit in, but you know when you go into those coffee shops that have got sofas and chairs, but they're really low.
Yeah.
Well, when you're tall and older, you go in and you look and you think, oh, shall I just stand? Because you know, you're going to be able to lower yourself down to about 6 inches above the sofa, and then you're just going to fall. And then when it comes to getting up, it's going to be a bit of a heave to, shuffle to the edge and then a push up. That's what it was like getting off the Vulcan S.
Yeah. A bit like the Honda Rebel. Yeah.
But going back to the 500, I don't know if you know, I ride horses. I used to ride professionally. And there's a connection you have with a horse. And the closest that I've come to that feeling is riding Bertie 500. It's that same connection. It's like the bike is an animal, like it responds to your feelings the way, which I guess it does, because your feelings come out in the way you twist the throttle, the way you hold the brake, the way you sit even.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I got onto the senses, really, because it, as a mode of describing a bike, of trying to, what do I really think of this bike, is, well, what do we do to make decisions? We use the senses. And that's what you do with a horse, except a horse has its own senses. I'm not sure Bertie does, but sometimes it feels like he does.
Yeah. And if you're in love with the 500 like you and Saddle are, and you go on the 350 like I did, on paper, the 350 is a better bike. It's smoother, it's more refined, blah, 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 blah. But it's not what you're looking for, is it? You want that 500 low down shove. That's what I missed with
if someone came and said to me that the 350 is a better bike than the 500, I wouldn't be able to argue with them and say, no, it's not. It's different. And the 350, and something all the Royal Enfields do, all of them, including the new Super Meteor, they have something about them. Whether it's because they are a little bit crude still. I don't know, but they have something that other bikes don't.
Objectively, we're talking about the classic 500s that were the EFI models, aren't we?
Yes.
Apparently, the prior to EFI, they were. I wouldn't want to buy a carbureted one because all the trouble that Economical Rides had with his for a start when we had him on. So we are talking about I think it's 2016 onwards. I think they went to EFI, but yeah. But I like I say, I'm in a predicament at the moment where I've got 2 bikes. I never use the blimmin' things. I've always got other bikes to ride. But I want an off-roader, but at the same time, I want a classic 500. So I think the classic 500 would get used more than the off-roader, even though I wouldn't.
Yeah, classic 500 trials, and you'll do a bit of off-roading with it.
I wouldn't want to, though. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't feel.
I've done little green lanes with Bertie.
Have you?
A bit of mud tracks, no problem.
Yeah. Let's actually, Adam, about time you went off-roading with yours, isn't it?
I'm thinking that, yeah.
Yeah, I could see you.
Yeah, me and Mark have got plans.
Epic motorcycle adventures.
Yeah.
Cool. Are they coming soon, those plans? Or
Hopefully soon, yeah.
Yeah. Because you've got loads of lanes up where you are, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to take me somewhere quite special. We're going to have breakfast and coffee whilst we're there as well. Going to be quite romantic. Nice.
Sounds interesting. And that's up your end of town, is it? Or down here?
That's at my end, yeah.
Yeah. You've got some lovely lanes up where you are. And out on the coast as well, haven't you? You can go right along the coast there.
Yeah, this is a coastal lane that we're going to go down. Yeah,
that does look quite stunning, I've got to admit.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen. Like Ken took him out on it, didn't he?
I do.
On the GS80.
Yeah.
Is it why the Land of the Rocks? Called Land of the Rocks? Is it
Valley of the Rocks?
Valley of the Rocks.
That's the one. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's near there. No.
Right. I know there's one shot where they stopped off for coffee, and there's like a 2 sort of little island things in the sea.
No, he said it's more towards Ilfracombe.
Rocks.
But
yeah, rocks. Yeah, that'd be good. How about you, Neep? Would you ever take yours off-road? Off-laning with hippodromes?
I'm planning. Yeah, I'm planning to. I've got all the gear, but no idea. I've got the boots, I've got the pants, I've got the helmet, all the gear, but no idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm planning to. I've been wanting to do it since I bought it, but then I was just busy riding it to and from work, and now it's set here, just on the trickle charger right now for the last few weeks, because I've been out to Cornwall and back, and I have not had much of a chance to go out on the Himalayan.
Yeah, because Hippo's very good at taking out people, isn't he? You know, he's very open to it, to taking out anybody, no matter what experience they've got.
He started doing a series on that, which was really interesting. So yeah, we just have to find some time in our calendars. Just like my calendar's gotten really busy all of a sudden on the weekends as well. So yeah, but I was just before you go, sorry, when you guys were talking about the 350 being smoother and stuff, and it's not being the same thing, you just reminded of a video I saw not too long ago by a channel called Bart. Not sure if you guys know that one.
Yeah.
He talked about the rise and fall of the Japanese cruisers, and he was talking about exactly that. It says they took the cruiser and they made everything better than the Harley Davidson. They made them more powerful, they made them more reliable, they made them, blah blah blah. But people still wanted the Harley. People still want the feeling,
character.
The potato thing,
Yeah.
So that what you guys were talking about, the 500 versus the 350, kind of reminded me of that. It seems to be something that's kind of universal.
Do you feel the connection that you get with the 500 with the Himalayan? I don't think it's totally different, isn't it? But
I don't.
No, it's more a work tool. Yeah,
I've only ridden it a few times, and the Himalayan has something, and I can't put my finger on what it is. And I've every single day just about, I watch video, and normally when I've watched a video, saddlebags going off on his Himi or Noob going through London on it, then I hear that engine and I feel that vibration, and it makes me sort of think, oh, just get a Himi for winter. Just get one for winter and have that as your winter bike. But I haven't been brave enough to push the button. And one of the things that stopped me every time with the Royal Enfield is the service intervals and the amount of time that you have to spend. If you do serious mileage, it's going to interfere with both in not just the cost but the time.
Was it every 4,000, isn't it?
3.
3, is it?
3.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Valve check every 3.
Right.
But actually, it doesn't take that long. Once you've done it the first time and you know what to do, it doesn't.
Well, that's what I need to learn. That's what I need to know. I need to know how that servicing works, because it would be a real pain in the butt.
Mm.
Do you have to take the tank off to get to the cam cover, or?
Yeah, but that's 5 minutes to take the tank off.
Yeah, just pinch the lines in it, I suppose, and stop the fuel. Yeah, the fuel stoppers, like twisties.
But it's every time you do something with a bike, there's the potential for something to be missed or something to go wrong, or a cable to be pinched. Or I mean, I know we always try not to, but the best way not to is not to have to do that in the first place.
Drop that 10mm socket in the engine head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my dad used to have a garage. He was in the motor trade, and he used to buy snap-on tools. And in those days, Snap-on used to come round in a van and sell them out the back. But he stopped buying Snap-on because he said they're just not worth it, because his mechanics kept leaving them in cars. So a car would come in for a service, and a Snap-on spanner, even back in those days, was like 20 quid or something. 12 mils, and it's gone. What's the point?
Yeah. They're very expensive tools, aren't they? Snap-on gear, good stuff, but it's expensive, isn't it? Tom STC said Sad will make a video on your Himalayan valve check. Make a garage video, basically saying on the Himalayan valve check.
I thought about it. Do you know?
I'll take my bike and you can do it on my bike. Just to
I just haven't got the patience for garage vids and how-tos.
The problem is with YouTube, and you'll see some of my early garage vids, is that when you're doing a project like that, you just want to get on and do it, don't you?
Exactly.
You don't know what's coming around the corner. You think, you kind of go in there wanting to do it, but not wanting to do it. But when you set up a camera and all that crap as well, it ruins the whole day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The whole project.
I'm already slow doing the work. If I had to set up the camera as well and faff around with that, I'd never be done. So it's just like, forget about it. No. Sorry.
I've done a few now, and what I find is that if you get the lighting right, then everything else looks after itself. I made up a little typical ER thing, a piece of wood, and it's got a spotlight on the end of it, and I literally just move the spotlight to each point, and that seems to work really well. It does make it a lot easier. And I've got a couple garage videos coming up actually with some stuff that I've been given, so I'll be doing that. I had a Chinese company get in contact with me recently for some little dinky LED auxiliary lights, and I thought, I might try that. And I thought, where am I going to bloody put them? And they got back in contact with me saying, oh yeah, this is what we want you to do, and added like a script and list. I thought, that's it, I'm out of it. Yeah, I'm not going to do any script that they want to do. I open the box, pull it out, open the box a certain way, stuff that.
This was an AI script.
Yeah,
I want to finish the work as quickly as I can and go out right. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom's TC, you're quite right. I should do a valve check video, but I won't. Sorry.
Phil Green just said, did I do a pat test on no, I don't, Phil. Don't do pat testing, mate. It's too boring, mate. Too much of the same old thing. Right. What else? Where were we? Tame, where were we with your story?
Oh, I finished racing and
Got out on the road.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring some of your bikes up a minute. We've done the Enfield there. Beautiful machine. I love that bike so much. Really do.
Yeah.
Very
special.
Oh, we've done that one. Sailing, it's your pastime.
Oh yeah, love sailing. Love a bit of sailing.
Yeah, I don't know where you get time for all this.
No.
So we've got the V-Strom 650 here.
No, that's a 250.
Oh, 250. Oh, so it is. Sorry, yeah.
I had that one as a winter bike. A fantastic bike, but again, servicing issues. They need servicing every 3,000 or 4,000 miles, and they're slow. Yeah.
125 slow, I guess, is it?
No, you could do. Well, yeah, actually, yeah.
That's what I find with 250s.
Yeah.
Same as the CRFs. They got a bit more oomph, but they haven't got a lot of speed.
Yeah.
To compensate.
Yeah.
This one?
Good bike. That one, 45,000 miles I did on that in 3 years. All weather, snow, blizzards. Loved that bike. And I cleaned it in those 3 years about 5 or 6 times. That's all. And when I cleaned it to sell it, it looked just like the day I bought it.
Yeah.
Is that because it just keeps itself quite clean with the mud guards and that? Or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I used to use Fairy Liquid. Well, not all other things are available. And occasionally, maybe once or twice, car shampoo. And then I used to use Mr. Sheen to polish it. I think on the wheels, I did use some. It had a Scott oiler, and I used to use some Scott oil on a rag and rub that around the wheels and stuff and underneath. But the back brake on it seized. Nothing wrong with it, just never used it because of the engine braking. Just never used it, and that is the only real problem I had in the 45,000 miles.
Very much a very, very underrated bikes, the V-Strom 1000.
Yeah. I think no one talks about them, do they? People have them, but they don't talk about them.
Overlooked.
Yeah,
I think people go for the looking at the Africa Twins and that malarkey, but I mean they're the newer V-Strom 1000 was I think when I tried it, I think it's about 11 grand, something like that. And it's a brilliant bike for touring. Loads of power. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
It is nice. Yeah.
Have you still got this one?
Yeah, I only bought it a month ago, something like that, 6 weeks ago. Yeah.
Go like stink.
That's running now. Is that? It's had its first service. Goes like stink. They said that it's not like a Ninja. It's not like an H2 or the 1200 RR Speed Triple or anything like that. But the way it delivers that power, it's the closest thing I can liken it to is when you're sailing. Sometimes you've got the wind behind you, and you're going pretty quick, but then you pick up a wave and you surf. All of a sudden, you're going at a constant speed, and then you just go whoosh. It's beautiful delivery. handles like a dream, far better than the T120 or the Speed Twin. They've got everything right on it.
Yeah,
everything right. Yeah,
I've got a clip from the flat cap racer on his Thruxton on the soap flats. So bear in mind that he's going to be wheel spinning in this video, but I'll just play that video, okay? So quick.
it's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the push that you get from it that is exhilarating, I think, and it's so smooth. I have done a 2-up video on it with Mrs. TAYM because Jake at Suffolk Triumph gave me a dual seat as well and put foot pegs on for me and a grab rail. But I haven't been 2-up until I did that video, and I was apprehensive. I didn't think she'd like it because it's set up pretty stiff, but she absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
she said it's like a Panamera. It's the Porsche Panamera. It's that kind of smoothness. It's a fast sports car that's not a sports car.
yeah, yeah. So remind us what bikes, because I've only been watching your stuff for probably 4 months, in and out. I go in and out because I get limited time. You know, we all understand that, don't we? So what bikes have you got? So you got the Thruxton, you got Barty, the classic 500. What other ones have you got?
I've got the T100.
Oh yes.
And I've got Susie, the Suzuki SV, which I bought about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
that's my T120. Got rid of that. That is Betty, a bad bike, a naughty bike that didn't handle. The back wheel went rusty on the spoke. You know, people talking about Royal Enfield going rusty on the spokes. That went rusty after being sat in the garage, coated in
ACF
motorcycle protectorant. Still went rusty.
Yeah,
I did have a discussion with Triumph about it, but their aftermarket strategy is that no, there's nothing wrong. What do you expect? Salty roads, even though it hadn't been out on them.
Yeah, even though you're paying big money as well. Yeah, yeah. I'll be honest with you. I have heard of a few things going wrong with those T100s, and I think Triumph for trying to move the manufacturing back
that
here.
Was a T120.
Oh, sorry, T120. Yeah. But how did we get to this one then?
Yeah.
Saddles.
This is Saddlebag's fault. Yeah, I got that. Probably one of the best bikes I'll ever own. But it had to go. I nearly lost Mrs. TAYM off the back. It just made me exceptionally. Either it had to go, or my license would have gone. I think. Just something about that sound, and you hear it.
Yeah.
Did you run it on the beginning of your intro?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
There's just, it's never happy wherever the throttle is. That's the problem. It always sounds like you've got to wind it, and then you've got to change gear, of course, and then you've got to wind it, and you go through that sequence 6 times. And
you've ridden that, Neve, haven't you?
140 miles an hour, and you're in.
I had one as a loaner when one of my bikes was in for service at the local Kawasaki. They said, "You want to take the 900, the Z900?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll have a go." And it was a bit, it was just standard tires, and it was a bit damp on the day, and it scared the living daylights out of me. And I haven't worked up the courage to go and try one on a dry day, because it just really scared me.
I think what it is with those, that they're for an inline four, they're really torquey, aren't they? And they're also low geared.
Oh yeah.
So the
It just
mixture
seemed
of
to
the
spin up that much quicker than my Z1000. It was just like, with my Z1000, I can go, yeah, I love this. With the 900, it's like, fuck, what happened?
Yeah. Now I've got a question, because I met somebody in Trago Mills, one of my subscribers. Hi, Tyrone. In Trago Mills, believe it or not, and he was saying that, and it's a question for saddlebags, but also TAYM as well, is that he's got the Z900, but he says he just finds the throttle too snatchy. Is there anything that can be done?
No.
Well, you can have an ECU flash apparently to tame it, but
There's
I had that problem with mine. Feather in the clutch.
Right.
You can also get an adjustment actually that goes on the throttle, but I don't think anything that I've seen on it has never worked from people that I've spoken to.
Okay.
And it's possibly because of the gearing and everything else. It's not just a throttle issue.
So would it be fair to say that they've cocked up a little bit with marrying the gears to the engine? Do you think, or is that a bit too stronger way of putting it?
No, I think it's perfect.
Yeah,
they've got it spot on.
Yeah.
If you go over a bumpy road at speed, you're going to go. If you can't hold your hand, the best thing is to let go with your hand, and then do you know what I mean? Instead of gripping it tight, is to just hold it with your thumb.
Okay.
But the biggest problem, I don't know if you had it, Saddlebags, is when it's cold, the revs, it stays really high. And when I leave home, I go down about half a mile of road, which isn't quite enough. And then I've got a hairpin bend. And so I'd set off to work. And by the time I'd get down to the bottom, the revs are too high and it won't shut down. And if you pull the clutch in, the engine screams. And you can force the throttle back, but you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I heard that.
The throttle do that.
They rev high on startup, don't they? I think mine revved to just over 2,000 revs, and it would stay there until the temperature gauge went up to 2 bars, and then it would drop to normal tick over. But mine was only a fun bike, so I just leave it on the drive ticking over until the revs drop to normal tick over.
Yeah. But fantastic bike.
Yeah,
Adam, you going down from a Suzuki 4-pot down to it's a 1-pot, isn't it? Himalayan. Do you miss having that screaming 4-cylinder? You do?
Yeah. That little conversation there got me really giddy. I was going to ride that bike. Yeah, I do miss a bit of a faster bike.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want a bit of a thrash, don't you, every now and then? And Himalayan don't really want to do that.
I'm really thinking about my next bike after the Himalayan. If I could get something similar to the Himalayan, but a bit nippier, that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
I love the Himalayan, but I'm looking forward to getting something a little bit nippier.
A 4-cylinder Himalayan.
Yeah. Be interested to know what the new 450 will be like, because apparently, I know it's only an extra 50cc, but I think the figures are saying that it's a lot more Newton meters of torque on the new one, apparently.
Yeah, about 40 horsepower, did I hear?
Something like that, yeah.
But it's going to be liquid cooled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's quite a bit. I know it's only 9. Was it? No. What's the Himalayan? 24? No, 29.
24.
Yeah, 24.
24. Yeah, so it's quite a jump, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah.
Might give it that little bit more to.
That could be my next bike. I don't know.
But I like the 411 for what it is. I
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never getting into trouble on it.
Nah. What are you looking at me for? Yeah. I'm just waiting for it every time. Oh dear. But yeah, no, that's great, brilliant. So I
it's
think
not
we've
about
got the
the power.
three
It's
most...
about how it tractors along, isn't it? It's about how you
Yeah,
trucks and tractors.
I did have a great moment the other day where I really appreciated it. Where I was going down a country lane, there was a huge tractor coming towards me, so I entered right into a field, like no problem at all. And when I came off the field, I thought, like, that's why I like the Himalayan, because it didn't even faze me. I didn't even give it a second thought. I just went, yeah, go in that muddy field, come back out again.
There's a lot to be said for that. Yeah. Paul, you're doing the DGR ride, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Tell us about that, my
Yeah.
friend, and how are you doing with it, and how much money have you raised so far?
Well, what I wanted
Close
to
as
do,
you can to the mic, mate, if you would. That's all right, just saying, sorry.
what I wanted to do last year, I had this idea of getting everybody to dance in front of the bikes with the helmet on to try and raise some money for men's mental health. And I contacted various charities and no one got back to me. None of them.
Really?
Not one of them.
Really?
But I'd already started getting videos from people. And I sat on it for a while. I thought, well, I'll continue with it and see what happens, see if I can get round the issues that I was going to have with copyright and things like that. And that proved quite a battle. But then the DGR thing came up and I thought, well, that's men's mental health and prostate cancer. My dad died of prostate cancer. My best mate currently got prostate cancer. He got it at the same time as my dad. My mum died of cancer. My sister's just been diagnosed with cancer. I thought it's the perfect thing. So I'll do the video. I've been letting little clips out on Instagram and where I can. It took a bit of figuring out because of copyright, and then of course Instagram just seems to ignore
Do what it wants. Yeah.
And now YouTube have done this deal with the copyright holders for the shorts, where you can put up selected, and the money raised from the short goes to them. And I think from all the shorts I've done so far, I've got about 18 pence.
Yeah.
So really big money, but it's drawing attention, and people have been donating. And originally, I set a target of £500. I thought that's quite a lot of money, really, for a small channel and for people. And I didn't anticipate people, you know, I thought they'd put £5 in or something like that. But within about 4 hours, we were past £500. I think I've about rinsed them dry at the moment. But between myself and Mrs. TAYM, we're about £3,100, £3,200, which is marvellous. It's just beyond anything I could have hoped for. But it makes you greedy. I'd like to get more now. Do you know what? Do you know what I mean?
But it's all good for you know, more for a good cause. So yeah.
Yeah. So
well done, you though. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I keep putting out the videos, and the final dance video is coming out this week. And there's going to be it's going to be a little bit of a mutter with two 2-minute dances of all the people that have sent me videos, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my brother paid for the licensing for the music that we use, but it's not the music that I wanted. But I'm going to cut it up and put it together in other formats with the music that I wanted. It won't be quite the same. My brother's done a marvellous job. And it's quite funny to see vloggers and subscribers dancing, and the fact that they send videos of themselves dancing is just,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's
You've got a good community, going there, and
Yeah.
one thing which I know everybody is wondering really is, how do you remember all that you remember on those
you're
mutterings?
asking the wrong question.
You tell me the right question.
The right question is, how much do you forget?
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
And I think if you ask that question, then you'd probably say, well, yeah, my memory's probably 50-50 as well.
Yeah.
I practice. I do it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I
I think that's good to have a warm up. Actually, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But I think it's good to have a practice. I find that if you're doing a vlog, you do it the first time and it's a bit, but you do it the second time, it gets better. And before you know it, you're in the flow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I always
sometimes
find.
that comes out quite smooth, and I think, well, that's not me. So I've got to go back and do it again with a few more and ums and.
I said to these guys actually before now, off camera, that those ums and ahs just work. They just work. It's part of your channel, and yeah, it just works really, really well.
Yeah,
I think.
I some people like it. I get some quite abusive messages sometimes, but that's part of life. It's part of
Yeah.
life, isn't it? You can't please all the people all the time.
No. How do you deal with them? The abusive ones? Do you just?
I normally leave them and answer them. Some subscribers normally pounce on them sometimes, and then they disappear.
Send them to the dogs.
It says more about the people sending the abuse than it does you.
Yeah.
They're just idiots.
I had a abusive message today actually. I rarely get them. Someone threatened to find my motorcycle and steal it. That bus wanker video.
Was it a bus wanker that sent it?
Because I said bus wanker. Yeah, he's trying to come and nick my motorbike. But fair enough.
Yeah, excellent. A little bit of
Has
a
he
different
burnt-
comment about that.
Has he burnt all the in-betweeners houses down then?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. What brought you onto YouTube anyway, Tame? How come you started it? Because you've only been going 2 years. You got 3,500 subs, haven't you? Somewhere around there.
18 months, I think I've been going.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And you're pushing it about 2 a week, aren't you? 2 videos a week, is that right? 3 sometimes?
3 or 4?
Sometimes 5.
Really? Yeah.
I aim to do 3, but then I end up with too much material, and I think, oh, shall I bin it? And then I think, I might as well put it on, and then I put it on, and I normally send. I do a bit of research. I'll send links out to different subscribers and say, can you have a look at this and tell me what you think? And I see what they're saying. If they say, oh, no, that's rough, then I don't. But
Yeah.
generally,
Future of your channel? Got any plans? Do you want to do more mutterings or more reviews? Or how would you want your channel to be in the ideal world? I'm going to ask you lot this in a minute as well.
I don't want it to be serious. I just like it as it is, and if it grows as it is, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine as well. I enjoy test riding bikes. Is what I'd be doing anyway. A lot of what I do, I'd be doing anyway. All I've done is strapped a camera to my chin. It helps me enormously with the stress from my rail job, as does riding bikes. And people think, I don't know if you lot get the same, a lot of subscribers think that the only time you ride is when they see you on the videos. But of course, I do thousands and thousands of miles, and most of the time I'm not muttering. I'm just in solitude, enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
But if I just go back quickly to what you said about why I started it, I was doing the videos, and the muttering for my brother. And I put the video up. It was, I put it unlisted, send it over to my, send the link to my brother. He'd do a video and send it back to me, and that's how we communicated. You know, to share our love of bikes.
Yeah. I've recently been, not recently, but I think that it's got very clouded now. I don't know whether I enjoy riding bikes more than what I do doing YouTube, because I like doing YouTube that much. If that makes sense. It's almost like they go hand in hand now. You know, it's not one or the other. I just like doing YouTube on bikes. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So are you saying that you've always got a camera on when you're riding then, or do you still
I feel like I have, but actually I haven't. I go out with a mate of mine, not so much this year. Obviously, I've had a bit of a crap year, but I go out with a mate of mine and we don't have cameras on, you know.
No.
We just go down Torquay, but I always feel like, I mean, certainly if one of us, you know, if one of us lot go out together, then I will always have a camera, you know, because there's something to film, isn't there? But yeah, I do enjoy, I kind of prefer filming on the bike than not filming, if that makes sense. I'm happy to go solo and alone, but I just like filming. I just love YouTube, you know. So
I like to ride without the cameras sometimes, because I often think if you had a crash and someone looked back at the footage, you've hung yourself.
Yeah.
If you were doing something wrong, that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I might. Yeah, I must admit, when I go into work, I don't film my route to work or anything like that. Normally, I'm in the van, but if I'm on the way to work and doing filtering or whatever, which I do a lot of, then no, I don't film any of that. Not anymore. I used to, but not anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good stuff. Guys, is there anything that you want to, Neeb and Adam? I don't mean to leave you guys out of it. I tried to sort of bring you in. Is there anything you want to ask or talk about, or you all good?
No, nothing.
No, I think it's been super interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Sorry, I was just, I'd like to ask Noob what he thought of the Mandela.
I loved it. I found it a really nice bike, but unfortunately, conditions were against me. It was a horrible day. It was pelting down. So I don't think I actually got a full go on it. It just stayed in rain mode because I couldn't be bothered. And they said, look, we need it back in half an hour. Which is like, why are you doing that? So I kind of felt a little bit under pressure. I should have just ignored them and just taken it out for however long I wanted.
That's
but
what I done once.
Them off. You don't want to piss them off either, right?
No.
So no, I love the look of that bike. It rides really well. The problem I have is I like a lot of bikes. They're all very good. They're just not good enough to entice me. They're not good enough better than the one I already have. This one here.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Yeah. So
it's funny you mentioned about the short test ride, because I had that with Zero once. I went down on a Zero test ride day, and they said, "Yeah, come on down. You know, I've seen some of your videos, this, that, and the other." So I went down to Torquay. I had a day off work, and I needed to work that day. And I said, "Well, all right for a few hours or whatever." And he said, "Well, no, it's just 15 minutes." What? I was not happy. I was not happy at all. In the end, I had it for 35 minutes.
Your battery ran out.
Yeah. But I was so angry that I went all that way, and they said, "Yeah, it's just around the block." I thought, yeah, off. Yeah, but there you go.
I paid to have the Super Socko for a week, and that was a good way to have it, right? Because then you can really see what it is like to actually live with and all that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I have got a Zero coming actually,
but they should be paying you.
Who's you? Me or Noob?
Well, Noob said, did you say you paid to have it for the week?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you paid to have a trial on it, to basically try it out for the week. They
Right.
set it down in a van and they collect it with the van.
But they should pay you because you're giving them exposure to.
Well,
The thing is that you were testing it as a customer, weren't you? You weren't testing it to review it on YouTube.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did they really care about 200 views?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the English Electric Motor Company, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just down the road from us.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you had to go on any electric, Tame?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
I lost about 50 subscribers when I put the first electric video up.
Yeah. It's like the Antichrist, isn't it? An electric video.
Wow.
But the problem is that they're actually good fun. I wouldn't swap it for my Bertie.
No.
But they are good fun and they're quick. And if I were a learner, that 125 one, which I can't remember which one it is.
We're talking about Zero or the Super
Zero.
the FXE.
The beige one.
No, DX. Is it the DX or the FX?
DX, I think it is. I think it's
DX.
the DX.
Yeah.
They're quick, and if any of your mates had any other 125 and you were on that, they're not going to live with you, are they?
It'd be like the two-stroke days
when you go flat.
Yeah.
Can I just say about the Super Soccer that I had? So the deal was you paid that money to have the bike for a week, and then if you wanted to buy it, that money would come off the price, right? That was a deal.
That's
and
quite
in the
fair.
end, I thought about it, and I just decided, I wanted something else that could do more than just one thing, because the electrics, they can do one thing. They can get to work and back, and that's it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But talking about dealers and things like that and how they treat you, I found dealers, most of them, really, really helpful and really nice. There's been a couple that clearly like it. I don't know why they can't just say, "Oh God, no, don't like your channel, don't like you, don't come near us." But they don't. They just leave you hanging and don't bother coming back to you or lie, come up with an excuse. But the majority of dealers have been absolutely fantastic. And I think dealers get a bad press sometimes from people, and it's very easy, isn't it, to make one sound bad. Someone comes on and says, "Oh, you don't want to use them because I bought a bike from them and it was terrible." Well, sometimes people are terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think it's when you get a lot of people saying the same thing.
Yes.
That's when dealers become. But I mean, we won't go into me and Saddle, know a couple that you just wouldn't want to. You know what I mean? And I think that comes from a number of sources. And then you just think, you know what? I'm not even going to take the risk. So, luckily none near me. But yeah. I don't want to wrap it up. I think we're going to have to let you go, Tame, I'm afraid.
Excellent.
Come to that point.
I better go off and do my Monday mutter, hadn't I?
Yeah, I should. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Thanks for having us. Fantastic to meet you all. And I don't mean to be rude to the rest of you, but Saddlebags, thank you very much for your videos. Absolutely. If it hadn't been for Saddlebags, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Oh, wow.
Not in the style that I'm doing. Yeah, fantastic.
That's touching.
And of course, yours are wonderful.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. I can't compete with Saddle, I know that.
Yours are.
Oh, come on.
I haven't watched enough of yours, but I have seen a lot of you but normally selfies with you dripping in sweat.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, on people on their channels, yeah. Fair enough. That happens all the time. I'm always hanging out with Exeter Rider and people recognise him and not me.
It's funny actually. Over the weekend, I met two subscribers, both in Trago Mills, which is a shop. Yeah, it's a GP shop. But yeah. Anyway, right. Thanks to everybody in the side chat for coming along. Thanks to TAYM's subscribers for coming along as well. TAYM, I hope you get a bit from this. I'm sure you will. You got a classic 500, brilliant mutterings as he calls it, and just a great channel, mate. You keep doing what you're doing.
Who was first with the mutterings? Because I remember, well, however long ago it was, I did a midweek mutterings, and then sometime later I discovered TAYM's channel, and he was doing mutterings, and I thought, oh, look, am I stepping on someone's toes here?
You couldn't possibly have stepped. November 2021, I think I started.
You probably started mutterings before me then.
Only just though.
There's enough room for mutterings from everybody, I think.
Yeah, there is. Quite the diplomat.
That's one of the things that I really wanted to encourage people to do, for everyone to do it, because everybody is interesting. Everybody has an interesting tale, and when you think that what you're doing isn't interesting, there are lots of people out there that will find it interesting, and you'll get lots of stick from people that don't. But you know how it goes.
Yeah.
That's gold. I couldn't have put that better myself. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Whatever you're talking about yourself, somebody's going to switch into, aren't they?
Yeah.
And going back onto I don't do too much on mental health because I try and keep it an uplifting conversation, but it can help you. It can be self-therapy, can't it? Going out on a bike, let alone going out on a bike talking about mutterings on about anything can be really, really helpful, can't it?
Yeah.
I find
absolutely.
Lily,
definitely.
Ken, Lanes Explorer, Jeremy Holler, Biker Buddy, Philip Green. We all know Philip Green. He's one of yours as well, isn't he, TAYM?
He is. Yeah, marvelous, Phil. Some wonderful bikes.
Yes, he has. He's got a. Has he got a new Royal Enfield 350 at the moment? I think
54 350. 350. He was going to sell, but he's not selling it anymore. I said to him, I said, "Right move."
I think he's going to be starting up a channel. I know he's got a channel now, but he seems to be doing a bit more now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's tinkering. He's playing. He got a 360. Oh, Western Supermotor Vlog. He's really mastered the 360, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just wonderful videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Phil's videos will pop up, won't they? Like a new video will pop up. You go onto it and he's taken it off again. So just waiting for that point where he keeps on loading them up. Who else have we got? Andy GSA. I think he's left now. Howie, thanks for coming along.
And how by the way, Howie confirmed that the Peaky biker is going to have like daily updates, and and then you can follow him around.
Brilliant, thank you, mate. Yeah, how's he doing that? He was going to do shorts on YouTube, or Facebook. Did he say?
Mate, you need to ask Howie.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I'll try and catch him in Cornwall if he's doing. I take it he's doing the coast of England. In the UK, isn't he?
It keeps changing. It started out as 4,200 miles, whereas now it's gone to 4,500 or 600 miles. So he's actually extended it in 14 days. So I mean, that's whatever mileage that is a day. It's big miles, but he's going to be doing the north of Scotland as well, which, as we all know, is going to be hell. Because it's probably going to be raining. It's slow roads, and he's got to get on and get some mileage done. So it's a heck of a trip. It's not one that is enjoyable. He's just literally just boshing out the miles. So, but as I say, he's funding it himself as well. So it's a big thing to do. I'm just trying to find where his little thing. Oh, there you go. Yeah, 4,300 miles. That's actually longer now. Coastal roads. It's not all of the coast of the UK. I'm not sure how far he's going into Cornwall. I got a funny feeling he's just coming down to pretty much passing through Exeter and then going back up again over towards east. Yeah, the east side. So yeah. But if you're up for it, Saddle, I might be meeting him anyway. If he's got time. Obviously, we don't know how he's going to feel and what he's going to be like at the time and all the rest of it. But I might try and catch up with him at some point. So if he did want to come up, then yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think he's going North Devonish area. But it's all very up in the air. It started out being one map and then it changed. It's still changing last time I heard. So we'll just see how it goes, isn't it? But good luck, Peaky. Rooting for you, mate. He starts it on Friday, so all the best with him. Trailer Medic, hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. And this will be turned into a podcast. Again, TAYM, you're doing a cracking job, my friend. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Keep those mutterings and all that coming because it sounds great. You're really, really good at that. That's a terrible impression. I do apologize. Just ruined it for you. Killed it. And thanks, lads, for coming on as well, as per normal.
Thank you.
And helping us out. All right, so, yeah, I guess I'll leave you there. And
Nice to meet you, TAYM.
Nice to meet you, Saddlebags. 73.
Bye.
catch you on the next live.
And we'll meet up and have a ride out. Meet up for a vacancy somewhere.
Let's do that.
Yeah, maybe on another social
You've got my WhatsApp now, so
yeah.
Maybe another social ride, which I know Adam's sort of might be planning something at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. Early doors.
Red was talking about organising one, but that will be Milton Keynes. So
yeah, no, you're quite right. Yeah, Red was. I saw his video tonight. Actually, yeah, he's talking about doing something, isn't he? But that's just something at the moment. But early doors, going to a posh cafe as well, which not posh, but nice food.
Posh.
All right, are we going to go to bed tonight, or do you want to keep talking?
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Not all together, hopefully.
Adios.